Hello class. This is an help session of how to do some debugging with WebSockets. We cover WebSockets in class, but some of you had some issues, so I went ahead and prepared a few more snippets for you. You can find these snippets both in KLMS, week 14, WebSockets additional material, and on the class repo under snippets, we'll find WebSockets debugging tools. So I want to show you how to use these tools and also how to use Chrome extensions to debug WebSockets. And hopefully this is going to be enough to get you started. Also, let me say I tested all of these, both on Mac and on the Windows 10, using as browser Opera, Chrome, and the latest Edge. If you use something else, I really don't know. You can tell me what you are using so we can actually look it up, but these are what I've been looking and it seems to work with this. So the first thing we want to do in general, just after downloading these tools, so actually let me go ahead and download this material as well. The first thing we want to do, we want to understand where the problem lies, right? So we don't know right now, let's say you have an error that happened. We don't know if it's on the client side or if it's on the server side. So I downloaded this folder. Actually, I downloaded it twice. So I have here my WebSockets debugging tools, and inside I have some application. So I have one JavaScript application. I'm going to look at it later. And I have a server and a client. This is the same as the one I gave you before, but simplified. I open up the server, and the server is a single PDE file. If you look it up, it's basically, that's it. Okay, so we create our WebSockets server in the setup, use port 8025, URI test, and that's pretty much it. So I get this one started. And if everything is fine, you have green light over there. Then I open up the client, not the JS client, the other client, the processing client, which again, it's very similar to the previous code. I just simplified this a little bit. So we end up with two applications. One is the server, and the other one is the client over here. And then what you want to do is to insert here the WebSocket address and try to connect and send some data. Now actually I've closed that window and I didn't have to close it. Let's leave it open because some debug information will appear down here. So I have my server and I have my client. Now I try to connect. I connect, I don't get any error, so I'm good to go. Then I can send a test and I can see on the other side I have a test. If this is working, it means that on your local computer, port 8025 is alright, you can use it, and test is a URI, you can use it. So the two applications speak to each other. So everything seems to work out fine. Now, of course, you can change the URI. So I could use the client over here and change it to whatever I want to. And of course, you have to change it on the server side too. Same with the port. So you can use this application just to test very easily out of the box. If this works, we know at least that the server is working, and to some extent, also the client would be working. Next, let's test with the JavaScript version of the client. So I'm going to open the client, and I don't even open up the code. I simply open up this HTML page. And I can have some debugging tools on the side, just in case it throws some error. Now, it doesn't throw any error to me. As soon as I open, the server was running. So it simply say is ready now. When I click with the mouse, it will put down, it will print down down here the mouse X coordinate. So this one also seems to work, no problem. Now let's say you have an issue, and to this point, this does not work. For some reason, this code is not working this way. So what I suggest to do is to download an extension from Chrome browser. So I'm going to show you how to do that. I mentioned this in class before, but I didn't really show you how to do that. So you open up Chrome. You have to download Chrome, and then you go to the Chrome web store. You can simply just do Chrome extension, and it will come up immediately. And that's the page. And what you want to do is WebSocket client. And I think the one we want to call is Smart Client, but I will just put WebSocket Client, Smart WebSocket Client. That's the one I want to have, and I add it. Yes, add the extension. And you're going to see that it turn on sync. Well, I don't think we actually need the sync, but it opened up over here. So I can simply click it. And what is this? We can make it a little bit smaller. It's pretty much the same interface I gave in processing. You want a WebSocket address, and here's something to send. So let's see if we connect first of all. So we want to connect to, I'm going to copy WebSocket localhost 8025 test. Connect. I'm connected. You can see now I can disconnect if I want to and reconnect. So I'm connected. So at least the connection works. And over here I can put something I want to send. So let's send something like message test. And I send this. Message test has been sent. Message hello has been sent. Okay. So again, what I did is got Chrome. I got the extension Smart WebSocket Client. I'll open it up with this button, copy and paste the WebSocket address, and then send it out. Now, if this part does not work, many things could actually maybe go wrong. It could be a port, so you could play with different type of ports. You maybe want to Google it, what are other ports available, but maybe try with 8026, 8027, try to see if these ports will work. Another thing that could actually be a problem is that maybe it's so I would exclude is a browser. Like if you're using Chrome, it's not working, then it's not because of Chrome. So it could be a port, maybe it could be some settings on your firewall, maybe you're blocking that port, communication on that port. So that could be an option. But the important thing is, if you have a problem and say you cannot solve it, you can ask for help, but try to make it in a way that is the problem can be replicated. Like if you send me over the code and I can see that there is the same problem, I can help you out debugging it. But if the problem is not really replicatable, it becomes very difficult to debug it. You might also want to try to test it on different machines. Maybe if some of your colleagues got it to work, you can try your code on their machine and see if it's working. Then you know it's not your code, but it's some configuration on your machine. Okay, so I hope it helps. I hope these debugging tools that I provide online in this small tutorial helps. And I'll see you guys in class soon.